The hanging leg raise is one of my all-time favorites for developing an impressive six-pack. When done correctly, it can be the perfect exercise that you should be doing to build up those abs that you desire. There is only one issue. It is not easy to perform, and I will see in the gym people doing this so incorrectly, and I want to teach you guys today in this video how to work up to being able to do a perfect hanging leg raise. It's going to help you build up and sculpt those abs. Before we jump in, guys, I want to give a quick shout out to the sponsor of today's video, Squarespace. We'll touch more on that later, but for right now, let's hop into how you can do a hanging leg raise. Now, if you cannot do a hanging leg raise, it's gonna be because of one or two things. Firstly, either your abs are just simply not strong enough, or second, you are tight in some areas and that is restricting you from actually performing the exercise. So the most common is just gonna come down to a lack of strength within the abs. So I'm gonna show you guys exactly where you should start, what exercises you should be doing to help yourself build up to being able to do a hanging leg raise. So we're gonna go through 7 total exercises, and these exercises are gonna be like a ladder. So you're gonna go from step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, and the only time that you progress to the next step is when you can perform 20 good, clean reps of each individual exercise. From there, you'll transition into the next step and then keep going until you get up to that pinnacle hanging leg raise. So the first exercise I'm gonna get you guys to do is the reverse basic crunch. Now this exercise is very, very good as it is going to emulate a certain exercise that you can do hanging, and that is a hanging knee raise. But it's also gonna teach you to just get accustomed to contracting your abs, as it is a very short movement. It is a very great place to start to build up that initial strength within your abs that you will need to do that hanging leg raise. The second exercise that we are going to do is going to be a flutter kick. So once you can do 20 solid reverse crunches, you're gonna move into the flutter kicks. Now these are very, very good because it is going to hit that static control within your abs, within your midsection. It's gonna teach you how to fully engage the abs, as you never want to be doing an exercise in a sloppy way. Form should always be a high priority, and having that static hold throughout the movement while you're actually moving your legs is gonna teach you how to keep that constant tension within the muscle. Third exercise is going to be a basic strict leg raise. Now this is going to be on the floor, and what you're gonna be doing is just hinging at the hips. So you're not gonna be lifting yourself up in any way, shape or form. You're just gonna be going from a 180-degree position to a 90-degree position with the legs, keeping that constant tension on the abs. Once you can do 20 reps on that, we are going to transition into a little bit more of an advanced movement of this, and this is going to be having a hip raise at the top of that leg raise. So this is really going to emulate that hanging leg raise, because when you do a hanging leg raise, what you're gonna wanna do is actually lift your butt underneath and get that full contraction within the abs. From there, we're gonna transition into a controlled negative lying leg raise with that hip up. So when you get to that top position, what you're gonna do is control that negative as much as possible. This is fighting that. It's gonna put a lot of stress onto your abs, and as such, it's going to increase your strength going forward, which we will need now that we're going up onto a hanging bar. From there, we're gonna transition into a hanging knee raise. Now, I see people do this wrong all the freaking time, and I want you guys to not do this. I don't want you guys to keep up your knees. I don't want you to swing back and forth. I want you to be controlled. Do not move on to the hanging part if you cannot do 20 reps of that solid, controlled negative motion. You're not benefiting in any way by trying to do a harder exercise, but doing it worse. You need to nail down the basics and then transition into the harder things and do them properly. That is where the results really come from. So for this, you're gonna think about what you did in the lying portion of a reverse crunch. You're going to be wanting to lead with your knees, bring them to your chest, and lift that butt underneath. You don't want to be swinging back and forth. You want to keep as strict as possible and only contracting at the abs. Once you can do 20 reps of that, we're going to transition into a hanging leg static hold. Now this one is quite difficult, so it might take some getting used to, but what you want to do is fight against that negative for as long as you possibly can. Now you may not be able to do this for too long initially. You might be able to do it for 5-10 seconds, but what we want to work up to is being able to hold it for 30 seconds until we transition in to a full hanging leg raise. So you're gonna wanna lift it to 90 degrees or just a bit above. Hold that contraction and breathe out, in and out, forcing that breath into your midsection and keeping that active control within your abs the entire time. Not swinging back and forth, not trying to overcompensate with your legs, keeping that active contraction on, and that is gonna, trust me guys, when you do this, you'll notice it will tear your abs up, but it is so good for transitioning into a hanging leg raise. Now we're gonna move into a 90-degree hanging leg raise. So that is when we are just 180 degrees straight down from the bar, and then we're gonna lift our legs up to about belly button height. So you're gonna wanna do that, keep that strict control movement. That's gonna be 20 reps of that. Very straightforward. You just wanna make sure you're keeping your form very tight. Then we're transitioning in to the final exercise, the full hanging leg raise. That is when you go from a full 180 position, straight body, and you're lifting your knees up all the way to the bar. So this one is very difficult, but I guarantee you guys, if you go through these steps, you go through each individual exercise, you nail it down, you practice your form, you give it like 2 to 3 months, 3 months plus, however long it takes, however consistent you can be, I guarantee you'll be able to do these very, very efficiently. And once you can get to do these, if your abs aren't absolutely popping, come back on this video and let me know, because I guarantee you that won't happen. So that is how to work up to doing a perfect hanging leg raise. I guarantee you guys, you will get it done and you'll absolutely love the exercise once you can perform it. Speaking of things you'll love, I want to give a quick shout out to the sponsor of today's video, Squarespace, which is an all-in-one platform to build a beautiful website in literally the easiest way possible. I found it especially useful in scheduling in appointments with my clients and keeping in touch with you guys through their very straightforward email campaign services. Another thing I've thoroughly enjoyed is their abundance of templates that they have available, not to mention the customization features, which allows you to create the website that you love and enjoy so it can stand out and never look like someone else's. So if you are looking to expand your personal brand or just put yourself out there, Squarespace is a fantastic way to do so. Head to squarespace.com for your free trial, and when you are ready to launch, head to squarespace.com/Fraser Wilson, use the code Fraser Wilson, and you can save yourself 10% off your first purchase. That is all for me, guys. I hope you did enjoy the video. If you did, drop a like, comment down below so I know, and I'll continue to make videos just like this one. If you are new, what are you doing? Subscribe, brother, and I will see you in the next video, guys. Arigato, Mr. Roboto.